And welcome back. The American Dream School is a public charter school dedicated to preparing 6th through 12th grade students excelling in college and emerging as leaders in their communities. Now, with campuses serving both middle and high school students, the school was founded on the mission of addressing the educational needs of immigrant families as well as bilingual learners through a unique dual language program. Here now to share more, we've got the founder and executive director of the American Dream School, Melissa Melkonian. And Melissa, thank you for being with me.
Thank you for having me.
So we talk a little bit about your school, obviously about 10 plus years it going. And
Yep.
As you look at it right now, being this dual language school, all that you wanted it to be?
And more. And more. Yeah, our school really has excelled in helping our students become their true selves and hold on to their identity, their culture through their language. So the idea was to support students whose primary language is Spanish and hold on to that Spanish while developing the English language. And what has resulted is that our students have taken that and kind of taken it to the next level by earning the New York State Seal of Biliteracy and taking that onto college.
And when we talk about biliteracy, obviously that's not an easy feat.
It is not.
But your school has been able to master equipping students and at the same time also having teachers that are great at really getting them there.
Yeah, I think our school truly is in a place where the staff who works with us and our students, my peers are really aligned to the mission. They find themselves in the work that they're doing. They find themselves in our students. And so part of what drives them is what helps propel the mission forward, and being able to carry on a little piece of their own experience and push their students a little further.
Take me into your classrooms for a minute and give me a typical day for a student, because we know that it may not be typical to regular classrooms, I won't say
Right.
regular classrooms, but traditional classrooms. So it's a little different.
It's a little different. So what we do is we have 4 core classes in middle school. We have English, we have Spanish, we have math and science. And so what happens is we alternate weeks in terms of when we're teaching them in English and when we're teaching them in Spanish. English will always be English. Spanish will always be Spanish. There's no translating. They stay the language. But then math and science flip-flops. So students are taught all English or all Spanish. And so there's no translating in between. It's more of continuing where we left off, just in a different language. And a lot of the classroom, there's the word walls, there's a lot of anchor charts around the classroom that helps our students being able to go back and refer to the prior week's lessons.
Yeah. So as a student gets across the finish line, they get this graduation that comes with a seal of biliteracy.
They do.
Explain to people what that seal of biliteracy is and what that means for the student.
Yeah, so the Seal of Biliteracy is a recognition from New York State that highlights a high proficiency of language development in English and a world language. For us, it happens to be Spanish. And so the intent of the New York State Seal of Biliteracy was to be able to help students develop a continuous love and learning of a language. Oftentimes in high schools in New York State, students are required to take only 2 courses to be able to fulfill their graduation requirements. But for the Seal of Biliteracy, it helps them continue on through that process. It also helps students kind of highlight themselves as bilingual and have biliteracy skills when they graduate to employers. It helps them with their college application process. So when they're applying, it gives more information to universities in terms of a profile that's deeper than most students through the Seal of Biliteracy. And it also just prepares students for the 21st century with 21st century skills, also continuing with that diversity and really helping them identify themselves and stand out as just diverse individuals.
How much of a challenge has it been for you over the course of the past couple of years, particularly given the fact that we're coming out of COVID and the height of it, knowing we had to go to virtual and technology and students having to have access to technology? What was that like for yourself, your students, and give us an assessment of where you are now?
So COVID was very difficult for the entire world. for us, we continued school all day on the computer. The resources weren't there for students in terms of one-on-one interaction with the staff as they normally do. We're a very close-knit community, and so our students have access to all staff members, teachers, operations members, where they're able to interact and just get a sense of their own needs. Through COVID, we did provide our students with technology. Whatever technology they needed, we were able to provide them with. We also set up food pantries and distribution sites, any support that students needed. Now, coming out of the pandemic, the pandemic almost propelled the close-knitness that we are as a community, because the students felt supported and loved. And so when we came back to live instruction, our students are very happy to be back in school. They love our school. They love our community. They love their teachers. And so going back to the seal of biliteracy, that is a really huge feat for our students. It's almost like defending a dissertation. And so in order to be able to accomplish that, it truly takes a village to be able to help our students do some research, study, write a research paper, create a PowerPoint presentation, present without any, without reading index cards or anything. And so once our students accomplish that, it's a celebration of a community.
Yeah. Talk about village, teachers, students, staff, right? You've got a lot of people working to really make students get across that finish line.
Yeah.
We got a crisis here in New York. We talk about the migrant crisis, and that's tall order. Hear a lot of people talking their takes on the migrant crisis. For yourself, as an educational institution, particularly dealing in the bilingual, how do you approach dealing with that?
We have an open door, right? So any student who applies to our school through our lottery system and is accepted, we support them every step of the way. We have been able to support families with, translating documents, understanding the rules. We have staff, we have teachers who are dedicated to bringing in resources. For example, we have a Know Your Rights workshop that a teacher organized who, it's a lawyer coming in to support families to understand what's happening or what will happen in the next couple of weeks with the new administration, and just being able to support families with providing them with information. So our migrant families look to us as an extension of support that they didn't anticipate having. However, when we do get new applicants who are migrant families, they come to us by word of mouth. So whether they're living in shelters in different boroughs, they come to the Bronx because they want to be at our school, because they've heard that we support the entire family. And sometimes it's just a conversation and being able to acknowledge them as families who need support. So.
Yeah. And getting students, you talk about that process of student enrollment and how the process for students to come into your school.
So our students, it's a lottery system. The application to our school is live on our website. It's simply filling out your demographics, name, number, grade that you're applying to. Students who live in our community and who are English language learners get priority. So if parents want to apply and they live in Community School District 7, they get priority. And then we open it up to the rest of the Bronx, then New York City, then the state.
And for a prospective student, obviously you have your bilingual classes, but what about extracurricular activities?
Oh my goodness, we thrive in that. So as somebody who loves extracurricular activities, namely sports, we offer every sport that we can participate in competitively. So we have basketball, baseball, softball, soccer, volleyball, cheerleading, track and field, flag football. And so we want to make sure that our students are exposed to sports, are exposed to team play and being able to participate in, a team sport. But we also have things like the nail club, cosmetology club, film club. So a lot of different clubs for our students to get some different exposures and add to their resume as they're building on and preparing to apply to college.
And for yourself, before we go, talk to us a little bit about the future. As we look into 2025, this new year, what's your hope for the school?
I hope that our school continues to thrive and that our students continue to get into the colleges of their dreams. So this will be our 5th graduating class going on to college. It'll also be our first year. 2025 is the first year that our founding class, so students who started with us in 6th grade, are graduating college. And so for me, I'm very excited to go see some of them graduate from college and kind of having a full circle. But it's making sure that our students are supported to live out their dreams.
Yeah. So watching them come through college makes you feel kind of young, doesn't it?
I'm not getting old. They are. They are.
There it is. There it is. Melissa, it's great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming to be with us.
Thank you.
All righty. Listen, Melissa Melkonian. Listen, if you want more information, visit the website at theamericandreamschool.org. We encourage you don't go anywhere because we do have more open coming up right after this.